Hey everyone, I'm going to do my John Maxwell now. I played the piano today and I got some cleaning done. I'm shocked at how many bugs there are in my apartment. Last night I was up until like 2 a.m. because they just started coming out of the walls. I was disgusted because my place is clean. Like you guys can see how clean I keep my place. I'm always vacuuming, I'm always spring cleaning. I was disgusted. And I had a picture frame with an Irish blessing on my stove. And that thing was full of bugs. So I threw it out. And I threw out a lot of stuff. But I don't know, they seem to be coming through the walls on both sides. They're coming from that side and this side. So I don't know. I sprayed bug repellent and I hope that they're going to stop. Because I've never had this before. It's awful. Anyway, all I can do is fumigate and hope for the best, really and truly. So I'm going to do my John Maxwell now, the next chapter. And I'm looking at the next chapter of the Charismatic Leader. And for today, it's about delivering excellence on our teams and with the people that we're working with. If you think of the penguins in the Arctic, I'm not sure if people have seen that documentary on how they survive the winters and how they keep their little chicks safe, but they group together. They form a huddle. So when we have our team meetings, we also have a huddle because there's strength in numbers. The warmth of being together keeps us stronger. And the children or the junior members or the siblings in a family, the youngest, the children, can be protected when we have a huddle. Because they'll be in the center, they'll be protected from the winds and the harshness of what they have to deal with. And the older penguins, they are the ones on the outside. Usually you'll find that they leave the chicks with the fathers and the mothers go off hunting, which is different to other species. But we can learn a lot from that about giving our best in every day, because with the elements around us in today's world, there's so many areas that are being affected by droughts, by fires, by floods. We can't control that, but when we join with others, we can make a difference and we can help to implement good values. So he just covers the points in this book about every day deserving your best. And looking at, if you look at team sports, or if you look at individual sports, if you look at tennis, every game is different, every match is different. And it doesn't matter what we did on the previous match or the previous swim or the previous game that we played, we have to bring our best to the next one. So every day that we can put excellence into our work, into what we're doing, it will help us to get to where we want to go. It doesn't mean that we don't have setbacks or challenges or physical or mental disabilities. Many disabilities are hidden. You can't see them. But we can still give our best wherever we are and do our best. And then he's just covering, saying everyone is important enough to be given your best. That's one of the things that we deal with in customer service, because you could be talking to Michael Jordan, or you could be talking to an ambassador, or you could be talking to somebody who's in prison, but we treat everybody the same and we value everybody the same. And that's the same with ministry work. In fact, with ministry work, when we go out, when we're in the soup kitchens, when I was in the soup kitchens at Braamfontein in Trinity House, we treat people with more care, with extra care, because they are the ones who don't get the time with their families. They don't get the time with a community. So that little time that they have with us, we try to make them feel welcomed. We try to make them feel like they're human beings. And we serve them their meal, whether it's the soup or the dinner or whatever it is, with compassion and with respect. And I've been part of that here in Canada as well. Toronto has a site that you can go on and you can look for volunteer opportunities. So I haven't only done it at my parish, I've done it with other organizations where they've needed people to help with serving the meals or cleaning up, things like that. And then the third point is that anything ordinary can be made extraordinary with excellence. It's like when we prepare our meals at home, whether we're doing it for ourselves or for our families, we can put that extra care into it. We can put that time into it, into making it tasty, making it a nice atmosphere. I like to sit at my table when I'm eating my meals because it just gives me that feeling that I'm sitting down now and I'm having a meal. So we can take the ordinary things, whether it's serving a customer or helping somebody or even a piece of writing, and we can make it extraordinary for ourselves and for our teams. And you'll find that when you bring that to your team will thrive and it will become the best team because each person will be doing their best to complement each other. And then the last point that he has on here is performing with excellence makes you extraordinary. And it comes over years and years and years of practice, of helping ourselves, of looking to make things better in society. Right now, the African leaders are building the African Free Trade Agreement. So that's good for them, but it's going to also mean the rest of the world adjusting because every country, including Canada, gets things from Africa, whether it's fruit and vegetables or furniture. We get things from Africa that we consume here. So we have to look for alternatives for that. And a lot of the Arab nations and the UAE are building in Africa. They're investing in Africa. I see America's also investing and forming ties with the nations, the Arab nations. And places like China, they're moving away from. So the days of cheap labor and cheap products will come to an end if it's done that way, but it means people in China are going to be out of work, just like people like me who are educated are sitting at home and we don't have jobs. So again, it takes adjusting, it takes learning new skills, new talents, and also drawing on the expertise of what we had before, because nobody wants to be going back to minimum wage all the time, being unemployed all the time, not having the ability to make ends meet all the time. We also want to get to a place where we're earning decent salaries, where we can travel, and where we can help the next generation to come up, not to always be sitting in minimum wage with the 16-year-olds and the students coming into Canada to study. So that's my experience of what's happening to my life. It may not be somebody else's experience, but it's very difficult. And Canada is not the only country going through this. England is going through very hard times. And people are saying they don't want the immigrants. But I know that in South Africa, there's a lot of Zimbabweans working under the table because we do a good job. So why not make those people legal instead of saying if you hire a South African or if you don't hire a South African and you hire a Zimbabwean, then we're going to fine you. Because if the South Africans can't get the jobs or don't want to work, I've heard it from many South Africans that they would rather hire a Zimbabwean than hire a South African because of our work ethic. So whose fault is that? And that's the same thing here. When I go to work, they're like, oh, she's doing better than everybody. She's too far ahead of everybody. So then they let me go. And then my life suffers. And it's not fair to me. So that's something to think about. And there's a nice saying in here by John Wooden. He was a basketball coach. It says, make every day your masterpiece. So I think that's something each of us can do. And it's something we can take the time to do. Whether it's sitting down, making time for our prayer, or appreciating nature when we go for our walks, we can make each day a masterpiece. And remember that all of this comes from God. All of it is a gift. And it's here today, it's gone tomorrow. I mean, this is not the first time I've lost everything and had no money in my bank account and been out of work. It's an ongoing cycle, and I'm tired of it. And Canadians are moving, they're going to the US. Now they took all those South Africans to America. Good for them. And they'll make it, and they'll make new lives for themselves. But there's a stigma to it. And I know how hard it's been for me here. And it's very, very difficult. It's not easy to leave the country that you love and to go and start somewhere else, and to have that label on you that, oh, you're a refugee, or you came in as a skilled worker. But at the end of the day, every Canadian family can't put on airs and graces, because they might be third or fourth generations, but they're immigrants. Everybody that's here, that's living here, whether you were born here or you came here through migration, the families are immigrants. It's only the First Nations people that this country belongs to, just like the black people in Africa or the Indian people in India. That's the same of America. So it's very frightening when you have programs where you're asking people in America to self-deport. Because, I mean, today it could be you, tomorrow it could be your family that's getting deported. And I think it's important to remember that. So I'll leave you with those thoughts for today. I hope I don't have any more bugs coming through my wall, because it was like an infestation. I was shocked. And I had to throw away a lot of things. My place is clean. I'm always vacuuming. I always change the bed sheets. I wash the floors. I sweep. So I'm shocked. This is the first time something like that has happened. And I've never seen it before. I hope I don't see any more bugs, because it's really scary. I don't like it. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Please keep praying for me to get work and for something to work out for me. I am still looking and I am applying, and I hope I get something. I've applied to all of the clinics as well, because they look for people with customer service, frontline workers, like receptionist roles, not sitting on the phones. And I'll have to keep looking. I did apply to Teleperformance, but I haven't heard anything back. And I hope and pray that I get the right job for me. And I'm happy for Pope Leo. He's moving back into the Apostolic Palace. It's good. He should enjoy it. There's no point having nice things or having nice furniture if you're not going to enjoy it. And he's different to Pope Francis. And personally, me, I'm tired of living in a church for the poor, because it's not nice being poor. It's not nice worrying, am I going to be able to buy my next packet of toilet paper? Or am I going to be able to afford my Tylenol drugs? Or am I going to be able to afford my high blood pressure medication? It's easy for those who have sat in permanent jobs their whole life and had doors open for them in the banks and had doors open for them in the church. It's not so easy for somebody like me. But I just put my faith in God, because there's nothing else that I can do. By now, I wanted to have a car, I wanted my own property, and I did all the right things. Yet, I get all the sour results. I should become a sourpuss. Maybe then things will fall into place for me. If I become a horrible person, then maybe everything will work out. Because it's too much. It's ongoing and it's too much. And I hope that this new government that has come in is actually going to make things better for people. Because they haven't become better for me and for many of us who are living here. They've just become worse.